Cyberpunk has again delivered an unexpected update, this time dropping a near 4 gig download for PC, but maxing out at nearly 22 gigs on console due to the formatting and requiring a full re-download of previously archived files. And this one is aimed at addressing a lot of the issues brought in with Update 2.2, along with adding in new graphics settings designed to take advantage of DLSS 4, which again seems odd from a game that was announced by the studio to be done and finished. Cyberpunk has also reached another milestone, along with some other interesting information coming in from all angles. Now, if you want to support the channel, please hit subscribe and ring the notifications bell so you never miss one of my future upload alerts. And now, let's get into all the latest from Cyberpunk. We're going to get into all the latest details from yesterday's update 2.21 in just a moment. But if you want to skip ahead, chapters and timestamps are available. But the first item of business for today is Cyberpunk's continued climb back to glory following its rather disastrous launch. Now, as reported by IGN and amplified by Associate Game Director Powell Sasko, for the first time in over 4 years since release, Cyberpunk has hit the rating of overwhelmingly positive on Steam. To date, the game has amassed over 715,000 reviews, which, to think about it, is a staggering total. Now, the road to redemption has been long and costly, with CD Projekt reporting it spent nearly $126 million spread across the Edgerunners and Update 2.0 patches, as well as the Phantom Liberty expansion. Combined with the recent work of Virtuous on Update 2.2 and now Update 2.21, it still leads to the topic of when will this game really be finished? But as IGN puts it, that's a lot of eddies. And with the game performing so well and still receiving updates and enhancements, why should CD Projekt fully halt work on the game, especially with Cyberpunk 2, aka Project Orion, years away from release? Opera GX has also recently updated their official Cyberpunk mod for their browser, including wallpaper, in-game sound effects when using your keyboard, and even customizable background music, which you can select from 4 preloaded tracks. Now, this is not a sponsored video, but I've personally used Opera for a while now, and this has been my home screen mod of choice ever since I downloaded the browser. And it's kind of cool to see and hear, especially when my day consists of back-to-back Teams calls and I can't log in to get in some time in Night City. We've also seen CDPR recently advertise for what looks like a hiring spree spread across a multitude of different jobs and locations. Openings include Senior Pen Tester for the Cybersecurity Team, Senior BI and Data Engineer, and Senior Data Analyst, Performance and Quality, Senior Graphics Engineer, AI and Navigation Engineer, Publishing Content QA Lead, and both Senior Audio Programmer and Senior Localization Programmer roles. Now, from the looks of this as well, these openings, along with others, are not centralized to the Poland office, but spread across the majority of their studios, which would make sense with 2077 continuing to see updates, although the bulk of that work seems to be maintained by outside studio Virtuous, but there's also The Witcher 4 and Cyberpunk 2 that are being developed simultaneously. However, Update 2.21 was the big draw, as yesterday we received this further update, this time aimed at fixing and improving the functionality of items that were installed with Update 2.2, along with the new DLSS implementation. Photo mode alone received 26 fixes, including various fixes for smart frames and gallery menus, several fixes aimed at presets and how those were not properly saving, along with quite a few issues with facial expressions and poses. But there still seems to be an issue with this one, as while I was testing it out for the recording, many times I could not get the NPCs to assume those poses, almost like the command was never being received. Luckily, the newly expanded Crystal Coat and Twin Tone systems were in need of far less attention, but they did see several color and texture inconsistencies being addressed, along with minor UI issues and a missing spray paint icon not popping up in the AutoFixer tutorial after a vehicle contract was completed. Update 2.2 ushered in a ton of new character customization options, including a randomizer lock feature. So it allowed you to randomize at will until, say, maybe you found a really cool and rare looking tattoo, and if so, you could lock that specific feature and then return to randomizing until you found that perfect combo for your new V. But it had serious issues, as there was a bug fix that was just deployed, because previously, if you went through that entire character creation setup, then went to the custom attributes page, and then, say, maybe decided to go back to take one final look at your V would be gone, forcing you to start from scratch. There was also a fix for piercing color options, allowing you to change colors of those pieces, which was previously an issue if you'd equipped your V with none, along with various other clipping issues, UI behavior inconsistencies, and functionality issues with that randomizer. Console-specific fixes were also included with Update 2.21, where the graphics mode on Xbox Series S was being set to quality instead of performance by default, along with 3 fixes for photo mode and screenshots, again on Xbox, including pics showing up as blank if taken with HDR10 enabled. In the previous update, the spawn rate of Johnny Silverhand was significantly bumped up, but it also needed a bit of tweaking, as players were finding that while in missions that involved Johnny riding shotgun, he was spawning in a second time, leading to multiple Silverhands sitting by your side. The Check What's New pop-up, which was added in Update 2.2, didn't work, but as of the latest patch, it's now functional. And there was also an audio fix where voiceovers on TV news channels could be too quiet or just outright missing. Where Update 2.21 really started to show just how important it could be for Cyberpunk 2077 was with the inclusion of support for Nvidia DLSS 4 with multi-frame generation, which is currently only available for the yet-to-be publicly released Geforce RTX 50 series graphics cards. Now, DLSS 4 and the new series of cards will use AI to generate up to 3 times per 1 frame of traditional render. For those of us that are not currently using a GPU that is yet to hit the open market, DLSS 4 is an upgrade over the current iteration that Cyberpunk uses, which is 3.8. And for 40 series card owners, the positives are still available through faster single-frame generation, along with reduced VRAM usage. Basically, we're going to get an even better-looking picture now with less pressure put on our GPUs. Once the patch download is complete, you can toggle over to the new infrastructure via your graphics tab, in between the default setting of the new CNN model or the new transformer option for DLSS ray reconstruction, DLSS super resolution, and DLAA on all Geforce RTX graphics cards. A point of interest though, because once I downloaded the new update, transformer mode was already enabled for me with the new model enhancing stability, lighting, and detail in motion. Now, if all of this sounds great, there's actually one small downside, and it concerns FPS. I was seeing an ever so slightly lower FPS using the transformer mode versus the traditional CNN model, and it seems to be tied to the upscaling. With the transformer mode enabled, the picture quality and resolution is enhanced by such a margin that you can actually switch from, say, quality over to balanced, or maybe balanced to performance, and still get the same picture quality with the enhanced FPS. And again, taxing your GPU that little bit less. Where the effects of the new model really shine through are in artifacting and smudging, especially while in motion. Even small details just look so much clearer, especially when compared to native or the previous DLSS 3.8, and even users of 20 and 30 series Nvidia GPUs are reporting gains. Is this going to be the final update to Cyberpunk? My guess is no, especially because we heard it hinted during the last dev stream that Virtuos was not done updating the game. There's also the question of time between when Cyberpunk 2077 receives its last update and when Project Orion really starts to take shape. And my guess is that's still a few years away. Let me know where you stand on the updates and how Cyberpunk is playing for you by dropping me a comment. Remember to hit subscribe and ring that notifications bell so you never miss my future upload alerts. All my socials, including links to today's sources, can be found in the video description. Until the next one, this is LtBuzzLitebeer, signing off.